for After the Show Behind the Scenes. I am your host, Shalimar J, and we have with us today Malaysia Harrell, an amazing woman. She was sharing her story, her process, her experiences with us earlier on Saturdays with Shalimar J on Preach the Word Worldwide Network. If you have not tuned in at all or you missed the show today, you got to make sure you don't miss it. So please go to Preach the Word Worldwide Network and watch the show. You can go there by way of website at www.ptwwntv.com. Go to live TV at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can watch it on your tablet or your cellular device or your laptop or computer. You can download their app and watch it on any of your mobile devices. And you can also download their app to Roku, Apple Fire Stick. It's on DirecTV. You can reach out to your local cable provider and see what channel they come on locally through your cable network. There's so many ways to watch Preach the Word Worldwide Network as well as Saturdays with Shalimar J. So now that I got that out the way, I want you, Malaysia, to continue, girl. Just talk to us. Finish where you left off, please.
Okay. I think one of the biggest things that we got out of, the discussion is, just being in alignment. I think that is very, very important because if you don't feel comfortable, using your gifts, sometimes you may not be on the right path, and sometimes, you just need that guidance from God to be able to understand what your calling is, what your next part of your journey is. And so I really, instead of, kind of making the list and just having my vision board, whatever I do, I really ask for God's guidance in that, because some of the decisions that I've probably made have been based more on getting that validation that I didn't think I got from my mom. And so wanting to have everything that, they say you should have on TV, and like I said, there's a lot of people hurting that have means, and you think, well, how could you be hurting? You have food on the table, you have a bed, you have heat in your home. Those are things I didn't always have as a child. I didn't always have food. I didn't always have heat. And we lived in Massachusetts. You needed heat. And, just this the stuff that my mom had to go through to make sure that we had whatever we had. It was very challenging. And so, you think, I have everything. And I've even had people tell me, whether I'm hosting an event or, somebody end up talking to me and they say, well, I really haven't experienced trauma. They're hurting, but that my story is not as sad as yours. So, I shouldn't be asking for help or whatever. Or I feel so embarrassed to even talk about it. And I'm like, no, like your story is your story. Everybody has a different story. It doesn't have to be, because everybody's situation is different. Some people grow up in countries where they don't even have homes. So it's not to say that one person's story is more traumatic as the other. The is for you to see, pain and how to overcome that through God's guidance, through that getting into that spiritual practice of being in alignment with what God has you to do, and then having the courage to walk away from a life that maybe isn't serving you so well. Sometimes
that's key right there, girl. You said a mouthful in a short period of time. And that walking away thing isn't always that easy. It's not. And as Malaysia is saying, guys, we can't get caught up in comparison. It's one of those things where, and it goes back into the journey that you were talking about earlier. Everyone is on a journey. Everyone's journey is different. The process that it takes one person to get to the same destination that may not necessarily be the same for the other. We got routes for a reason. You go on you're traveling. You can take the highway, you can take the main road, you can take the back road, but you still get to that same
Mhm.
final destination. Just everyone goes about it a different way. So I'm glad you said that, made that point, because that's key right there. That's some good information. Now, those who are watching now who may not have had opportunity to watch Saturdays with Shalimar J may not know about your events and your books and all that good stuff. So if you could just really quickly touch on the book, one of the books that you have out right now,
Mhm.
that we talked about earlier, is the one that talks about courage, being courageous enough to launch. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So, this book has been a blessing to me. I didn't mention this earlier, but when I first started writing the book that I'm writing now, I kind of froze a little bit. And I had a coach. I have a coach. I don't believe that we should go through these things alone.
Mhm,
You have your spiritual clergy or your prayer circle, your circle of women, your coaches, whatever it is. And I was writing my book, and when I started writing, I read everything, and I was like, wow, I went through all those traumas, and I froze.
wow.
It was like, I mean, till this day, nobody knows everything. And it's not easy to talk to people about it. Some people won't understand. They'll ridicule you, like, oh, that happened when you were a child. Why are you still, even thinking about that now? You should be over it. Some
Mhm,
people don't have that level of compassion. And again, everybody's story is different. I honor everybody for their story. And
mhm,
so my coach at the time said, well, what else can you do? So, that's when I started the candle company, the aromatherapy
mhm.
part of my healing as well. But sometimes they say you write the book before the book.
Ah,
I've attended some book, workshops and writing workshops.
uh-huh.
Sometimes they say there's a book before the book. And so when Dr. Cheryl Wood presented this opportunity to start writing my story along with
Mhm,
7 other women talking about their stories of courage to go ahead to overcome obstacles and to launch their businesses, right?
wow.
Sometimes you grow up in a poverty mindset and you feel guilty for wanting to do more and want to come out with this stuff. And again, especially if you're going to feel shame or you're going to be shamed, you're like, I don't want to tell anybody, I don't want to open up. So this
Mhm,
really helped me to get that story started. And it's more so like the prequel to the book that I have coming out. I'm so excited to share this with the world. But Courageous Enough to Launch, it really helped me in my healing to even start
wow.
to tell my story. I had people read that book. Again, it's a chapter in a book, and they called me crying, saying they, number one, they didn't know my story. Number two, it started allowing them the opportunity to open up about their stories as well, stuff
Mhm.
I may not have known. And so
Wow.
know what your story, what your journey is going to help somebody else with. So I say go for it. Once you start to allow God to move, you're gonna
Mhm.
doors start opening. You're gonna be like, I'm writing a book. I'm on a show.
You know what? You'll see the doors open and doors close.
Oh,
The
you're
doors
right.
that should have been shut are gonna shut, and the ones that are ready to open are gonna open. And
Yes.
you're right. I heard you say it. On a show, what? Yeah, 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 yeah. Sure enough. Go on ahead and open it, Lord. Walk on through. But yes, guys, get the book. Be inspired. You know, if you are someone who is wanting to step out and launch anything, or even if you don't, it's a good read, I'm sure. I'm going to purchase the book. I have not. I just found out about it today because that's just how we operate on this end. I'm surprised and informed as this at the same time that you all are, except sometimes after the show behind the scenes, I might have already known and we're continuing. But for the most part, on this day, I'm just finding out. But you have an event. I'm going to pull that up
Yes.
here. Talk
And
to
for
us,
the
if
book,
you
people
will, in
can
a couple of
click the link
minutes.
in the bio, and
Mhm.
it's the book. And so you just pay $22. That includes shipping, and it'll be shipped to you.
Oh, okay. There it is. All right. So the event. Talk a little bit, a couple minutes.
Mhm.
about your upcoming event. Guys, as before she goes into that, as you all see, all of her information is up on the screen. Her Instagram is at Malaysia underscore H underscore Harrell, and she also has at Blissful Home Candy. Her phone number is listed there, 301-867-7341 if you needed to reach out by phone. And she even has a way to get to her by email. There are no excuses. MalaysiaHarrell1 at gmail.com. So you can reach Malaysia however you need. Social media, phone, and email. It's there for you guys. So as I was saying, please talk very quickly, if you will, about your event that is coming up. One of many that will be coming.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for, all the handles and everything. And that phone number is actually a text number. And I send out, encouraging messages as well. So just sign up for the text and, you'll start to get information about the events, about encouragement, things like that. And that's a way for you to text me as well and send me messages. But the event on Saturday, I am so excited about this particular event because, especially during the midst of a world global pandemic, who would have thought a lot of people have had time to think
Yep. Hmm.
and they realize that, wow, there's some things that I might need clarity on. There's some pain that I've had that I really didn't have time to deal with because I was doing all these things. And so
Hmm.
that's why I chose this topic for this particular time. But what it is I've utilized the Blissful Home Candy platform and, of course, my personal platform to really help women to heal, to help encourage women. And for this event, it's a life healing and transformation event. And so how it works is I curated these beautiful, I have several different journals and you'll see the events. So every time I launch a journal and a candle box, and of course the aromatherapy is so healing as well. Journaling is so healing. So we take the different topics of the different journals and then we have a 2-hour event where it's just called a chat. So this is the healing and transformation chat. And
Okay.
this one, I'm so blessed to have the honor to have Minister Audra Hill, who has utilized her ministry to help people heal. She talks about her story of healing. And this is going to be such a powerful event. We are almost at capacity, actually. And
Wow.
I just want to encourage you to get started on that healing process because it sounds real cute to say, okay, go heal, girl. Well,
Hmm.
doesn't look pretty though. It's kind of
Mm-mm.
a process to even get
Don't
to,
feel good either
it doesn't feel good.
in the process, but
No,
after.
no. It's not a fun process, but we want to bring like-minded women together, women who are, who believe in God and believe in the power of healing because
Hmm.
God has given us the spirit of healing. He's demonstrated it in the Bible many times. And one of the things I realized in my own healing process and the healing that I've helped other people do is that no one is coming to save you. No one
Mm-hmm.
will heal you. No, a doctor's not going to heal you. No one's going to heal you. And so you need to ask God, what is your healing process? What is God the godly prescription for you?
Right.
And so once you get clarity on that, I'm telling you, every day you walk in alignment, you are going to get messages. You are going to we talked about, how a lot of these things came about. We didn't just sit down and say, oh, I'm going to start this company today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a very spiritual path that you're on. And things start to be in alignment. You're like, how did that door open? And like you said, how did that door close?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's going to be a shift. Some of the people around you may change. Some of your habits may change. Your life
Mm-hmm.
may completely change.
That's
But
it.
things are necessary for the healing process.
It is indeed. And you know what? Say no more. is necessary for the
Mhm.
healing process. That's a good place to end right there. So thank you again, Malaysia, so much for your time, your story, your dedication, your service, literally, your service to the United States of America,
Thank you.
but also the kingdom. Um, I can't say thank you enough. Thank you is the proper word to use, but I feel like it's not the right word to use because it's so widely used, and I really am thankful. I feel like there should be some other greater words to express how I feel for what you've done today. But I think me saying what I'm saying now, hopefully, is enough for you to understand. I really appreciate you
Thank you.
and what you are doing and what you have done. Guys, connect with her, follow her. Um, get messages through the text. You can find out about when the next event comes. Register for this one. Purchase the book. I mean, do whatever you got to do. Get past your trauma. It doesn't hurt to seek ways to get help so that you can get through healing. And there's steps and there's a process like she was talking about. Forgiveness is a starting point
Ooh,
to
I'm
getting to the
getting
place of
that.
healing. In order for us to heal, we got to forgive
Yes.
and then move on to the healing,
Yes.
right? So dig deep, find out what it is on the inside that you need to release yourselves from so that it can show on the outside
Mhm.
that you are this new being, this new creature that's free, released, free from hurt and pain. Doesn't mean that it won't come back its way, but the
Mhm.
next time you'll be better prepared, at least to get through the process. So thank you for helping people get through their process and for sharing your story and realizing that your story can help heal somebody else. That's amazing. So, to God be the glory, guys. Thank you for joining us on After the Show Behind the Scenes. Until next time, I'm going to say it again. Your scars, those things that you deal with, those its that come your way, they're beautiful because they are your testimony. So, God be the glory. Again, until next time. Bye,
Bye bye.
guys.